Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel called VDK sir once again. I warmly welcome to all of you. So since long time lot of people have requests, lot of students have requested please make the video on the Python programming. So today we just started the Python programming. So before going Python programming, first of all we should know the history of the Python programming and rest of the programming languages as well. So first programming was C programming languages. C programming developed by Mr. Dennis Ritchie 1972, right? People work on the C programming, but people are not satisfied. Obviously user requirement increase. I'm looking for that particular feature, that particular features and particular elements, right? So after 8 years C++ was developed. C++ was developed by Mr. C, already existing, plus plus means increment, right? C++ developed by Mr. Benjamin Stockton. So 1972 plus 8, 1980, 1980, finally C++ were released. C++ follow the OOPS concept, object oriented programming system. Okay, after C++, Java come to the market. Java developed by Mr. James Gosling 1991, after 10 years, right? So 1980 C++ came, after 10 years Java come to the market. So 1991 Java was released. Java everybody know developed by Mr. James Gosling. At the same year Python was also developed. Python developed by Mr. Kudo Wenderstrom. Okay, 1991 25. Okay, so why Python is important, why everybody looking for the Python programming, what is the important role of Python programming? So as you can see guys, in current era all of the company in this world, all company approaching for the Python programming languages, right? Because Python is a more easy to access and syntax is very convenient for the users, not like a Python, not like a Java. Like in Java if we talk about, so Java syntax is quite complicated as per the Python. Python is a more easy, convenient. That's why Python is also called scripting programming languages, right? So Python, if you see, so Python used for data science, data analyst, business analyst, Python full stack as well, right? So everywhere Python we are using. Okay, so you can see in this session we will learn to identify the need for writing program, explore computer hardware architecture, understanding programming, converse with Python, right? Why should you learn Python? Okay, आपको Python क्यों पढ़ना चाहिए? Writing a program is creative task. Program are written for different purpose. For instance, obviously whatever program we are writing, each program have a end objective. Suppose I am making calculator, so end of the time I'm looking for where is my calculator working, functioning proper or not, right? So each programming have a end objective. Without purpose we are not writing any program. Like a very simple example, like if we talk about ATM machine, so ATM machine we have withdraw the money. So first of all they design the algorithm for the ATM machine, right? We have a purpose, like we have to withdraw the money easily, right? Like nowadays everybody using Google API, so that is also requirements. By help of the Google API we are able to transfer the money easily, we don't need to go anywhere, right? So every program have a purpose and objective. That's why we made it. For instance, to automate the reservation system, to automate office work environment, to automate traffic management system, to automate banking transaction as well. Computers are like a personal assistant who take care of day-to-day tasks. A program can be defined as a set of instructions given to a computer to achieve any objective. Obviously whatever set of instruction we are given to computer, we are get a particular objective. Like just now I told you, without objective we are not doing anything. So if you are creating any program, so each program have a purpose and objective why you are writing for this. Users vs programmer. User use the tool available in computer like word processor, spreadsheet and map, whereas programmers learn the computer languages and develop those tools. Obviously, like if you talk about Excel, if you talk about Power BI, so these all are the tools developed by who? Developed by the developers with the specific programming languages. Programmer use software development tool available in computer to develop software for the computer. A programmer may write a program to automate the task for himself or for any other client, right? At an initial stage, there is no difference between programmer and an end user. Obviously in this initial stage, in the starting phase, We are the programmer, we are the end user. Whatever program I'm developing, I'm able to access that. But later, after learning programming languages, the programmer can develop software that can utilize by the end user. Obviously, जब आप प्रोग्रामर बन जाते हैं, once you develop the software, once you become software developer, after then आप किसी क्लाइंट के लिए प्रोजेक्ट बनाते हैं, जैसे कंपनी में आप जाते हैं तो कंपनी में आप किसी पर्टिकुलर कंपनी के प्रोजेक्ट पे ही काम करते हैं, राइट? So in that case, like very simple example, suppose I'm the developer, right? And another person is my client, like Shubham, and Shubham explained I'm looking for this particular feature in my project, right? So I will develop project for him, like suppose his project is school management system or any particular one. I develop and I've given to him, and definitely we will charge for them. Whatever I develop, we basically charge for that, right? So later, after the learning programming languages, the programmer can develop the software and that can be utilized by the end user. Computer program. Computers are faster and have a huge amount of memory to store data. Obviously, all the data we store are in computer memory, RAM, right? Computers are helpful in automating any types of tasks related to day-to-day activity. Obviously, whatever day-to-day activity we are able to perform on the computer, tasks can be automated by giving instruction to the computers. Instruction can be given to computer by writing program. Like repetitive tasks like counting words are very painful for human being, whereas a computer can do it easily with the help of programs, right? Like in Excel, if we talk about, suppose in Excel, if you say 10,48,576, if say to somebody you can count one by one, definitely take a time, right? But once you press Control down arrow in keyboard, you are able to see 10,48,576 rows. It's more easy and convenient. Computer hardware architectures. Computer hardware components, you can see input output devices. Obviously, once you work on the program, definitely you need a hardware component, input devices, output devices. Center processing unit, CPU. CPU is the brain of computer, mind of computer. All the processing work happening under the CPU. Main memory is also called primary memory. Secondary memory, main memory, I mean RAM, it is also called volatile memory. ROM, it is also called non-volatile memory. RAM stand for random access memory. ROM stand for read-only memory. Just like a hard disk and SSD. That is an example of ROM. Defining computer hardware components, like you can see center processing CPU is helped in processing the instruction. Main memory is provide the storage support during execution of any program in the computer. Example like RAM. The secondary memory is help store the data permanently inside the computers. Example like a disk, flash, memory, CD, DVD, external hard drive. The input and output devices. Input devices help user to generate any command or input any data. Output devices help user to get output from computer. Like example, mouse, keyboard, monitor, printer, etc. Programmer and computer hardware. Programmer need to be coordinated with each of these components to solve the problem. The data need to be analyzed to arrive at solution. Program will mostly be talking to CPU and instructing it what to do next. Obviously, like I told you previous, all the processing work happening under the CPU, central processing unit. This is structure I just now explained to all of you. Skills required for programming. There are two important skills required for programming languages. Knowledge of programming languages. What do you mean by languages? Languages means way of communication. Like each of the countries have a specific languages where people can communicate. Same like if we talk about in IT guys. So in IT we are communicating with who? We are communicating with the programming languages like C, C++, Java, Python, Ruby, R, any particular. There are various kinds of programming languages. Like you can see the vocabularies and grammar of the languages, construct well-formed sentence in the new languages, ability to tell a story. Writing a story, words and sentence need to be combined to convey required logic to the computer. There is a skill and art in constructing the story and skill in a story. And writing is improved by doing some writing and getting some feedback. Obviously, like very simple example. Suppose I'm listening a story, at end of the story definitely I will get a moral of the story, feedback of the story, what I learned basically from the story, right? Same like that guys, if we talk about programming languages, so once you write a program, after execution of the program, definitely I get a feedback of the program, I mean output. Words and sentences. Vocabulary are the reserved words that have very special meaning to Python. Reserved word have only one meaning for Python. Reserved means what is a fixed, predefined. For any programming language, reserved word is a predefined. We can only use it. A variable provide a name storage that program can manipulate. A variable can have any name, but Python reserved word cannot be used. I mean, a reserved word we cannot use as a variable in Python. A sentence start with a reserved word like print followed by the string of the text enclosed in single quotes. So as you can see, words and sentence reserved word in the Python like len, dot, try, def, for, print, raise, return, while. These all are the reserved word in Python. So as you can see, it's just a minute to learn a program language required word like just now I told you guys. So vocabulary list and grammar text. So converse with Python. To converse with Python software must be installed on the computer, right? So first of all, we are going to install the software. After installation successfully, the terminal command will open and you can type the Python and interpreter will start the executing the interactive mode. So you can see the activities are given here. Display the hello words. This is the first program going to be in Python. I've already made the screenshot as well. Now machine languages. Python is a high level language like other high level languages such as Java, C++, PHP, Ruby, Basic, Perl, etc. The actual hardware inside the central processing unit CPU does not understand any of these high level languages. The CPU understands the language which we call machine languages. Obviously, computers are one kind of machine device, right? Computer by default understand binary number 0 and 1. So you can see machine language is very complex and very tiresome to write because it is represent all in the 0 and 1, as you can see here. Machine language is try to computer hardware. Machine language not portable across different types of hardware. Programs written in high level language can be moved between different computers by using different interpreter. To execute program on new machine with the new hardware, the code need to be recompiled to create the machine languages version of the program for the new machine. Okay, so interpreters and various compilers. So programming language translate for into two general category like interpreters and compiler. What is the difference between interpreters always read the code line by line, whereas compiler compile the code at the same time, all the code, not line by line, just like a Java. Java is a compile based programming language, whereas a Python is interpreter based programming languages. Interpreter need to like once you doing Java guys, so in Java you have to install JDK, Java Development Kit compiler, so that you are able to execute the Java program, whereas in Python you don't need to install any kinds of compiler, it's already inbuilt it. It's an interpreter based programming languages. So interpreter read the source code of the program line by line, pass the source code and interpret the instruction. When Python is run interactively, Python process every line immediately and ready for the next line. Okay, so interpreter based compiler, it is not easy to read and write machine languages, so it is nice to have interpreters and compiler that allow code to be written in high level languages like Python or C. The Python interpreter written in high level languages called C. The actual source code of the Python interpreter can be viewed www.org.com. Okay, www.org. So Python is a program itself and it's compiled into the machine code. Okay, so once you complete the installation, in next video we are going to see how to write a program in the Python programming languages. So that's it for this video. Thank you so much.